So Chelsea are currently fifth with 66 points, just a point above Nottingham Forest. They are on 65 points. So it tells you how huge this game could mean for both clubs. If Chelsea should draw against Nottingham Forest, it will take them to 67 points. And if Villa should win, then that means that Chelsea will be in trouble again. So a draw wouldn't be enough for Chelsea to qualify for the UEFA Champions League because Aston Villa are still lacking. That's provided if Newcastle, City and Villa wins and Chelsea and Nottingham Forest should draw, that means Chelsea and Nottingham Forest will not be playing in the UEFA Champions League. Alright, so it's last day of the Premier League season. Liverpool has already been crowned champions. We saw that a couple of weeks ago. Congratulations to Liverpool. But then the twist is not yet done as far as the Premier League is concerned because there's more to play for. Yes, we've also known the three teams that would end up being relegated, or the three teams that wouldn't be playing in the Premier League come next season. So Leicester City, Ipswich Town, as well as Southampton. But then, why is the Premier League still garnering quite a lot of attention entering into match day 38? Because already we know who the champion is going to be. We know the three teams that would be relegated. But then there's one important thing we have forgotten to notice, which is Champions League football next season. So thanks to the Premier League clubs' input and then also how good they've been in Europe throughout the season, it means that Premier League would have 5 slots in Europe next season. Talking about the UEFA Champions League specifically. Now, after Tottenham Hotspurs also beat Manchester United to be crowned champions of the Europa, it means that Premier League would have 6 representatives in the UEFA Champions League. But we are not talking about Tottenham Hotspurs because they use the back door. Now let's concentrate on the teams that will be using the front door, which is, their positioning on the Premier League table. Now, like I said, Liverpool were crowned champions a couple of weeks ago, which means that automatically they book a place in UEFA's most prestigious tournament come 2025-2026. Not just them, but then Arsenal also got a 1-0 win over Newcastle, which means that they've also cemented a place in the UEFA Champions League next season. Now, that leaves 3 more places and about 5 teams fighting for these places. Now, you have Manchester City in there, there's Newcastle, there's Chelsea, there's Aston Villa, and then also there's Nottingham Forest. So, City will be taking a trip to the Craven Cottage to take on Fulham. And, City only need a draw at least, because a draw will take them to 69 points. And with that superior goal difference, you don't expect Nottingham Forest to beat Chelsea by at least even 25 goals. So that will be almost impossible. City only need a draw, realistically, to make it to the UEFA Champions League. Now, Newcastle also in there will be playing Everton at the St. James's Park. They also need at least a draw, depending on the results from the other games, because luckily for Newcastle, Chelsea will be playing against Nottingham Forest, and that's the game we'll be previewing to see who even wins it and how it could even end up between these two sides. So Newcastle also going into that game against Everton would definitely need a draw at least, but they will be compelled to win at least to stay safe. But then Villa are also fighting for a place in the top 5. They are currently 6th, and they'll be traveling to Old Trafford to face the embattled Manchester United, coming at the back of a loss to Tottenham Hotspurs just a couple of days ago, all the way in Bilbao in Spain. So that leaves us with the the 5th place team, Chelsea, taking on the 7th place team, that's Nottingham Forest. So Chelsea are currently 5th with 66 points, just a point above Nottingham Forest. They are on 65 points. So it tells you how huge this game could mean for both clubs. And, both clubs' season would definitely be defined by the outcome of this particular game, especially for Nottingham Forest after they stayed 3rd on the league log for quite a number of weeks. No one even saw them dropping all the way to the 7th position. Now, you talk about Chelsea, they have a Conference League final to play against Real Betis, and a win in that game could see them automatically qualify for the UEFA Europa League. But then Chelsea fans and even the Chelsea players will not be content with the Europa League because they feel that they've worked so hard and they deserve to play in the biggest club competition in Europe. So Chelsea will be hoping that at least a draw against Nottingham Forest will see them qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Now, let's do this permutation. If Chelsea should draw against Nottingham Forest, it will take them to 67 points. And if Villa should win, then that means that Chelsea will be in trouble again. So a draw wouldn't be enough for Chelsea to qualify for the UEFA Champions League because Aston Villa are still lacking. That's provided if Newcastle, City and Villa wins and Chelsea and Nottingham Forest should draw, that means Chelsea and Nottingham Forest will not be playing in the UEFA Champions League. That's how dicey and how challenging it could be between these two teams. So Nottingham Forest will be playing at home. They'll be playing at the City ground. They'll be welcoming Chelsea. And I believe out of all the 10 games, most football lovers, most Premier League lovers will have their eyes fixated on this particular game. Nottingham Forest taking on Chelsea. Now, what are the chances of Nottingham Forest even making it? Or what are the chances of Nottingham Forest even beating this Chelsea team to qualify for the UEFA Champions League for the first time in over 4 decades? They've not been there. So it's been a long time since Nottingham Forest even played in the UEFA Champions League. Now, per the permutations, it means that should Newcastle, City and even Villa win, then it means that either one of Chelsea or Nottingham Forest should be winning. A draw wouldn't do them any good. But Chelsea could end up qualifying. That's in the event that Aston Villa loses and they even draw their game. That means that they are safe. But then anything other than a win for Chelsea would mean that they might, that's a high possibility, they might not end up qualifying for the UEFA Champions League come next season. And maybe they could take solace in the fact that they could beat Betis and be crowned champions in the Conference League. But that would only mean that they qualify for the Europa League, which wouldn't be enough for Chelsea fans. But if you're a Chelsea fan, what do you think your chances of qualifying for the UEFA Champions League would be? And looking at the table currently, which has been displayed on your screen, then which of the teams do you think could end up joining Liverpool and Arsenal to represent England in the UEFA Champions League next season?